Hi folks, welcome to Blue and Gold Talk. This is a video on the channel that I just toss anything out there. I just want to see if I made I did. Yeah, I was just looking at something, guys. I have something, I didn't write anything down for this, but I know what I'm going to talk about already, and that's the money side of things I want to talk about, touch on, because does it worry you guys? It worries me giving out these big contracts because before you know it, we're capped out. And then we have no leverage, and I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling because that means we have no leverage, you know? And I want to have a Stanley Cup before that happens, you know? I don't mind it happening after we've won a Stanley Cup. Then I can live with it. But I want to see this team, we get the most out of the salaries we're paying before we have to really pay and pay and pay and pay. And that's what's happening right now, is that the kids are starting to get paid, folks. They're starting to get paid, and it's okay. They've earned it. You know, they've earned it. I get it. I mean, you know, they turned this franchise around. The guys that we're paying, okay, the ones that we're giving the contracts to, they're part of the new culture. So I don't got a problem paying these guys. I want to come off right away with this, you know, and I want to keep in mind that we got Tage at a pretty good rate. When you see what I mean, you look at that ridiculous contract Horvat got in New York. Now, how would you guys feel if we would have signed Horvat 8 years at 8.5? I think losing his touch. I think that's a terrible contract. It's not going to age well. I don't think it's going to age well at all. And neither's Timo Meier, wherever he goes. Watch. Jersey fans, stop begging for Timo Meier. You guys have a good team. What are you thinking? Like, I don't get that. Jersey fans all over the place saying, oh no, he's ours, he's ours. I was like, what do you need him for? To spend more money that you don't have so you can't lock in your kids eventually? Where's the logic there? I don't get it. So there's just things that when I look, I try to look at the cap ahead of time always with our team. Because if we're going to win a Stanley Cup, we're not going to do it broke. We're going to do it because we have a good 7-8 million of cap space open. And we can get that final piece for a run. We'll have the cap space to do it. It's just my thinking. Get some guy that's 11 million bucks and they eat up 25% of it, or there's no deal for, you know, and we send them whatever, a prospect, whatever to make it happen. It can change. It always takes one dust of magic, which is usually one player. Butch Goring comes to mind. You know, you get Butch Goring at the trade deadline that year, and they went on a 4-year run, cup run, the Islanders. And the Islanders could never get over the hump. They went and got Butch Goring, and that was the piece that was missing. They needed that energy guy like he was. And it worked. This is why I want to see the Sabres not screw up with the money and everything. This is why I get worried about the money. I don't care, you know. Think about it, guys. I mean, does it really matter if they're making 6.5, 7? Not really. But I'm thinking every $500,000 open that's saved opens up a spot for one more good player eventually. This is why I'm looking at, like, Okposo's gone, and what's his name's gone also. Hodgson are off the books, and we've taken that money and we gave it to Dylan Cousins, who properly should be making that. Not those two. Should be Dylan Cousins. He brings a lot more to his game every night. And now, and it's not like Okposo's making $6 million, folks. I believe his salary's $4 million, but 6. I count it as 6 because it goes against the cap. It's not about the money with me. It's about the cap. You get it? It's about the cap. That's the magic number. These guys that get overpaid in this league, it drives me crazy because that puts the market in our face when we're trying to sign somebody. You know, like you guys seen, like some of these ridiculous contracts. Look at when that Jones went over to Chicago, folks. What that did to the market. All these big defensemen are making $9 million. There's him, Dougie Hamilton, and Darnell Nurse. The only one I would say maybe worth it is maybe Hamilton, maybe? No, no he's not. But tell that to a Devils fan this year, the way their team's playing in him, right? I mean, they're rolling over there. But I'm looking at look, I'm looking at our future, and I'm trying to figure out the money part of it. And I do believe when we get those two defensemen locked in, which is, of course, Dahlin and Owen Power, once we get these guys locked in, then we're going to know what our real capital is, folks. That's when we're going to know for real what we really have. Because you're talking right there about $16 million for those two guys. I'm just throwing a number out there. Because Owen Power is going to be like $7 million defenseman, and Dahlin's going to be like $9 million. I mean, we're going to have to figure this out before you know it. And I don't want any young guys coming into the league. I don't want us to have to move guys because we're overpaying people. And so far, we haven't hit that horrible, horrible contract under Adams. I mean, I was hoping for 6.5 with Cousins. It's okay. It's 7. It's, you know, it's a little more. It's not the end of the world, but every bit counts when you're trying to get everybody locked in eventually. Got to get everybody locked in. You can't screw around. You got to try and get everybody locked in. So this is a tricky job for Adams too. You know, I'm sure he sat there and he wasn't, I'm sure he pitched a plan to him and said, Dylan, you probably can make more if we gave you, but I mean, we could secure you now. We've got a plan for each one of you, how much we can pay. And then after that, we're cap struck, man. We're done. And it's up to you guys now, because you're making all the money. It's up to you guys to bring it home now. And if they can't do that, I don't know what's going to happen. If we can't win a Stanley Cup and have no money, we're going to be a very frustrated fan base. And then everybody's going to be saying, you know, we shouldn't have signed this guy to this long and this guy to this long. Hindsight's always 20/20, guys. Doesn't matter. So yeah, the money part's on my head today because of Dylan Cousins. I'm also wondering how Tage is doing. You know, that's kind of on my mind too. How's he doing with this injury? What's going on? You know, we need him okay. This is a fun year. I don't want to lose this year because Tage is out and the idea for 50 goals goes out the windows. You know how excited the Sabres fans are going to be when we get another 50 goal man? That is going to be so exciting for Buffalo fans. If, you know, some of you are young and have never seen it, right? So I can only imagine for you young folks what that would mean to you to see a Buffalo Sabre score 50. You know, that's another thing on the top of my head I wasn't even thinking about before the video. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I have done enough videos. I'm burnt and I've got a throbbing headache. I have not been feeling good at all today. So my head is going boom, boom, boom. And we will see soon enough. There's going to be hockey games. You know, there's going to be games. And folks, it's a 32-game season now, not 82. Okay? It's a 32-game schedule. That's it. And I figure to make the playoffs, we're going to have to go we're going to have to go 18, 10, 19, 11, and 2. Yeah. 19, 11, and 2. The rest of the year, Sabres will make it if we do that. All right, folks, have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.